Hey, I'm Chef Keith Snow. Welcome to another episode of Harvest Eating. Today I'm going to show you how to make stuffed bell peppers. When I went to the market today, I was looking for red bell peppers, but these green bell peppers were right from my own neighborhood. So naturally I bought these. They're just grown down the road. This is what we're going to stuff. Before we get into that, over in this pan, which I have warming up over the flame, some good quality extra virgin olive oil is going to go down first. Just like that. And then we are going to take one medium onion that's just been diced. That's going to go in. And now we are going to cut up some carrot and celery. And when you have onion, carrot, and celery all together, you're going to have mirepoix. So simple carrot. Turn them all like this. And then the carrots go right in with their onion friends over here. So we're going to cut this celery. We're even going to use these leafy parts. All goes right in. Stir it around just a little bit. Now we're going to start seasoning that. A little bit of kosher salt, a little bit of black pepper, and then right here I've got some of our Harvest Eating Northern Italian seasoning. This bag I use at home. I don't have a label on this, but this is really incredible stuff. You can find this in a Harvest Eating store or just use your favorite Italian seasoning. So we're going to take about a half a teaspoon. Add a little of that seasoning in, just stir it through, and right away, as soon as it hits the oil, I can smell rosemary and oregano and some of the things that are in that blend. Next up is going to be some garlic, and this is going to be there's going to be a lot of we're going to add rice to this and meat. It's going to be a voluminous mixture, so we're going to add 2 pretty big garlic cloves. We're going to add those right to the mixture and stir those through. Now we're going to add the beef, and this is local grass-fed beef, comes from local farmers here in western North Carolina. This is about 1.5 pounds of beef. It's going to go right into this pot. And now what you want to do is start to brown the beef. But now that I added in all that meat, I'll come back in with just another touch of kosher salt, black pepper, and then we'll let this cook for a few minutes. And now let's talk a little bit about our bell peppers here. What we want is to be able to stuff these, and you can see that these peppers, if I were to lay it down flat, it's going to fall right over. It's not going to stand up. So what I want to do is do a little bit of surgery on these guys with the chef's knife. So I'm going to take it and lay it there and just cut off a little bit, don't cut too much, but a little bit of the end of this pepper right off to help it stand up a little better. Maybe take just a little more. So now it stands up. I'm going to grab a paring knife, and what we're going to do is use the paring knife to cut the top out, and I'm going to point the knife inward as I cut. So if you do it carefully like this, you'll get this part out, and inside you've got some of the seed pocket and the membrane. You want to just reach in with your hand and give it a tap, and you see all these seeds that are going to come out. We don't really want those in there. So that wasn't too difficult now, was it? So now that those are out, you've got these tops, and we're going to use the tops. So take your paring knife and just carefully cut off as much as the seed pocket as you can, just like that. So now we've got a little bit of a mess here. Let's move this out of our way so we can get our dish here. This is how I'm going to cook those. This is a very sturdy kind of a clay ceramic dish from France. We're going to put the peppers right on there, but we don't want them to stick. So just put a touch of your olive oil on there, and then take the peppers and kind of do a number like that. and you'll just stand them up, and then later on we'll fill them up, and then we're going to bake them at 350 for about 35 minutes. So these are all set. Let's take a look at our mixture here. Okay, the meat has cooked pretty much all the way down, and what's neat about this grass-fed beef, there's not a pool of fat in there. If you would have bought regular beef from the store, it'd be a lot more fatty, most of it. Like burger beef would be real fatty, but this is very lean. So now that we have it at this point, we want to add a little bit of pepper sauce, and this is a sauce that I make using cayenne peppers from my own garden. I make a big batch of this stuff every year, and we'll do a video on how to make that at some point in the future. Shoot me an email and remind me. So there's cayenne peppers, turns into this sauce. We are going to add, you know, about a tablespoon in there. Remember, we're going to add rice to this. So we'll stir this sauce through it, and then I want to taste it for seasoning. This is a mistake that a lot of home cooks make when they don't really taste it as they're cooking for seasoning, and then they serve bland food. It tastes incredible, but it definitely needs some more salt and pepper. So we'll go ahead and add in another pinch or two of our kosher salt, some black pepper. I am tasting a lot of herb flavor from the spice mix, so we don't need any more of that. So this is good to go. Now let's start assembling the filling. So I've got a good bowl here, and then I have previously cooked a little white rice. And what I did with the white rice is I added just a teeny bit of my cayenne pepper right to the rice. So we're gonna get this dumped into the bowl. So now we've got our rice in there. Let's take our beef. We've got that in there. Now I am going to add a little optional ingredient. You don't have to add this. This is about 2 tablespoons of Wisconsin beautiful grated cheese. Comes from the Grande Cheese Company. We're going to add that right in just to give it a little extra something. Now let's mix this up. And now that we have this most of the way mixed, we're going to do another tasting. We've added all this rice in there. That's a lot of volume in there. There wasn't any salt or pepper in the rice at all, just a little bit of cayenne chili peppers. We want to taste this and make sure that the rice didn't take down the level of seasoning in there, because once we stuff this in the peppers, that's the end of it. If it's not tasting good, then cooking it isn't going to make it taste any better. So here's a clean spoon. It needs salt, just a touch. The other thing I'm going to do is put in a little more of my hot sauce, and this is why tasting is so important. You've got to work with your food. Even if you follow a recipe and it doesn't taste the way you want, you can continue to add to it, change things, make it taste good. Okay, so a little more of that beautiful cayenne pepper sauce. Now let's stir it all through again, and now it's time to stuff our peppers. So let's take the stuffing on a spoon, and this is pretty simple. Get it down in there, and you'd only get 1 pepper per serving. That's going to be plenty. Okay, now that I have got those stuffed, we're going to take the tops, or the lids I call them, that we cut off. The trick is going to be to remember which one came from which pepper. I think this one came from this one. I think this was this guy's cover, and then like that. So now these peppers are beautiful. They're stuffed into a 350-degree oven, and you need to watch them. You can't leave them in an hour, because they'll just fall apart. Because when these walls get cooked, they'll want to fall apart. Remember, everything in there is already cooked, so I would say check them at 30 minutes. Maybe it's going to take 35, 40 minutes depending on your oven. So off to the oven they go. Okay, our bell peppers have now come out of the oven. They look beautiful. They were about 40 minutes in there. What I've done is I've just taken a plate and I put a little bit of my Thoughtful Harvest sun-dried tomato sauce. You can get that in the Harvest Eating store. Right on the plate. You can use whatever tomato sauce or crushed tomatoes you want. Just put a little base of that. Then I went ahead and put some Parmesan cheese right on top of the tomato sauce like that, just a little decorative touch. And now I'm gonna take one of my peppers and these things are pretty soft, use a pair of tongs and carefully lift it off, and then I would take the top off and put the top right on the plate, and then I would garnish with a little more of this beautiful Parmesan cheese, just like that. And you have got a very simple and delicious bell pepper that's stuffed with grass-fed beef and rice. Give this one a try today. The Harvest Eating Lifestyle with Chef Keith Snow promotes the use of locally grown and raised products, cooked using seasonal methods all throughout the harvest season. Be sure to engage with us everywhere. On your TV via Roku, iPad or iPhone via the Harvest Eating app, on YouTube.com, on Facebook.com, and of course at HarvestEating.com. Thanks for watching.